Waiting in line at 7 a.m. on 6th Street to hopefully meet with someone about Obamacare. I'm wearing a shirt over the shirt that I plan to wear at my next activity, and I also brought a sweatshirt to wear over it as I wait outside in shorts and attempt to take up as little space as possible. And am too consumed by anxiety that I am being selfish, even racist, in my concerns for self-preservation as a young man with olive skin speaks, it seems, to himself, looking around, rapping. He has a story that I wish to observe, but also he fills my empty stomach with anxiety that he will smell out my fear and my whiteness and my femininity laid bare in these shorts. I am a bit relieved to see him attempt to engage in a fight with a 50-year-old man who mad-dogged him as he threw away the rest of the strawberry shortcake he had left lying to buy and consume. Now he paces, still near enough that my shaved leg hair stands on edge. So I keep my hair in front of my face as I read my book and underline words that I'm not even reading. The Spanish from the woman next to me floating in and out of my ears like a lullaby that is violently accented as the olive-skinned man's soliloquy continues. I wonder if it is not his skin and age that I fear, but rather his boisterous nature and youth and masculinity, and the fact that the way he speaks, classified as less intellectual, though not indicative of anything, for this energy is the energy that all strange men, and some not so strange, who have been bold about grabbing me, or calling out to me, or running alongside me, have had. The energy that tells me I owe them my bare legs and my long brown hair. But it is not fair for me to associate him with these abhorrent memories and men. But it is difficult for me to unlearn the association and the instinctive fear. And just like that, two beautiful and likely also empathetic and intellectual women walk by in tight blue jeans and tucked in black shirts and white sneakers and walk into the building that we all wait outside of. And just like that, I witness, in my mind, confirmation as he objectifies them, and the objectification falters and transitions back into his monologuing. Something else the olive-skinned man says repeatedly irks me. He continues to call the line long and complain about being here, yet he is 8th in line. And with that, I know I still have much to unlearn. And yet, I get closer and see he is wearing a Raiders hat and has an Yves Saint Laurent tattoo behind his left ear as he comments on the size of a woman's forehead. As we drift in the door and go through security, I avoid eye contact with him as he turns around and raises his arms, revealing his stomach, round, black, and hairy. I wonder, while waiting in line directly behind him as my anxiety grows, if I have permission to create this commentary. But he has made his presence so public, so offensive, as in offense versus defense, as he acts out against the yellow sign that hangs over our line, then waltzes in front of the man next up in line. He says one thing that makes me smile. "We got team spirit over here. Use N-words weak," after saying that he doesn't speak Spanish, and before saying he needs to stop smoking weed. As we all work to usher a woman in a green blazer to the correct window, after she has incorrectly approached windows twice. And yet, of course, as I sit down, I had worried to distance myself from the olive-skinned man, a smiling man, in a Henry IV 2018 Summer of Shakespeare hoodie, chooses to stand next to where I sit, 3 rows back, while all other chairs are open, looks at my tan long legs and says something about either my muscles or mosquitoes. But I recognize his tone, go back to my phone, and smile as I have smiled 1,000 times before. And he says, "I'm only trying to make you smile, Miss Lady." Now I know he might not know any better, but is that an excuse? Now I know I might not have understood him. Is that an excuse? I know that I have the power in the dynamic, my being a white woman and he a black man, but I feel the need to make myself smaller. Like when I see I'm about to walk past a man on the street and I'm scantily clad in my typical small shorts, small shirt combination, and choose to blow my nose aggressively as to appear less attractive, because everyone knows a pretty female object doesn't have bodily fluids and discharge, save one that comes after sex. All instigating personalities seem to have vacated the premise, for now, so I finally relax and wait for my number to be called. But relaxing turns quickly to painful observation as I watch a man in sweatpants plead on the verge of tears to be given an ID so he can eat, and I immediately fill with guilt for my privileges, and it doesn't matter if I am a man or woman, but I have an ID, and I have food that I chose not to eat this morning. I am one of the lucky ones in my shorts with my bare legs and my bare femininity. The lighting is too harsh in this room for the individual burdens everyone is carrying. They are too visible and public for such private matters. I wish it was louder, darker, full of more distraction, so I wouldn't be able to see and hear each predicament each tired, standing adult has to live with and problem solve. I hear those who use pleasantries and those who do not, those who speak Spanish and those who do not, those who carry smaller children in their arms and those that do not. This lighting reveals that I am one of the lucky ones with my bare legs and my bare femininity. This lighting tells me to smile